Here we go, whether you like it or not. About ready to kick off another week of Linglestown Gazette morning update. Everyone's looking forward to that, I'm sure. Just got a couple things to do to get the show in place. We're live on two places, actually. YouTube. There's a Linglestown Gazette channel, believe it or not. Okay, let me mute this now. Linglestown Gazette channel. You can get all kinds of stuff there. A lot of it's on Facebook. It rolls over, and also here on Facebook. So we're ready to kick off another week, and I want to watch these comments roll in. Looks like we got Mike Mazzacaro, George Kunkel, Uncle Kunkel. Good morning to you. And I did get the grass mowed, by the way, over there at the pool. All right, while people sort of figure out that we're online, many times people get notified that something's happening live and they peek over at whatever's happening. So it's my job to try and attract them, to get their attention. And one of the things I got to tell you this morning, we're on April 29th to slate this, April 29th, 2019, and it was cold. And it's cold in my my office, my shed office here. I'm going to look like a hoodlum today. I'm going to put this on to do the show because it is a little chilly in the old shed/office/video studio. So what you've happened upon is Linglestown Gazette Morning Update. This show is all about local matters, folks. Two reasons why local matters. Because local matters do matter. And we talk about specific local matters. Now, for a long, long time now, I can't even tell you how long, we've been sponsored by Consolidated Insurance Services. They're over there in Paxtonia. And I always like to say they're behind the Carnes Food Plaza. Yeah, I'm going to give Carnes a little bit of publicity, but that's how I think of it. The Carnes Food Plaza there on 22. Behind there's a former home, now an office, has Erie Insurance on it. That's where you want to go. You'll check with David Jones. And it's not that Davy Jones with the monkeys way back when, who actually lived not too far away from here. This is David Jones, Linglestonian. He'll help you out with your insurance needs, primarily through Erie Insurance, but they do have other carriers. So that's the story there. We're also brought to you in part by two school board candidates, Rich Massatesta and Ted Giovannis. They're in what's called Region 2, which is like Dauphin, Middle Paxton Township, parts of Western Lower Paxton Township. Maybe it's a weird configuration for a Region 2. There's three different regions in the school district. So I'd like to thank them for their help. And just a couple of reflections here. What we're going to do today, don't run away. We're going to look at the top 4 issues facing our area right now. That's going to be your topic. All right, and you're not going to get that anywhere else. This is the only place you're going to get that information. So if you want to be up to speed, you want to be in the know, you want to have all the stuff, you got to be here with Linglestown Gazette Morning Update with me, your wannabe Walter Cronkite, Bill Bostic. Over the weekend, Linglestown Gazette was glad to support 2 different athletic events. I had a stop at the Central Dauphin Rams baseball game. They took on Governor Mifflin and won something like 14-8. But more importantly, they were supporting bullying. It's hard to say, bullying prevention. There's a nonprofit affiliated with a family here in the district, the Seitz family, started by last year a senior on the team, a second baseman. I think it's Justin Seitz. Dreams for Danny. So we were able to support that. And then on Saturday night, what a great time over there in Dauphin at the park. The Central Dauphin Lady Rams wiped out the first place team in the Keystone Division. Central Dauphin's in the Commonwealth. So we were meeting another division's top player, and we wiped them out 12-0. Mercy rule applied. They only had to play 5 instead of 7 innings because of the massive lead that the Lady Rams rolled up. Starting senior pitcher Sam Gress, a perfect game. So we were able to broadcast that. So we're plenty glad to support all those things. And the last thing I want to mention before we get into our 4 top stories of the area, and I'm ready to go because I got my coffee from St. Thomas Roasters. I got my Vi Lemon sparkling water. We're all set, ready to go. On Thursday, the Lower Paxton Township Historical Commission will be holding their monthly meeting. It's at a new time, 6:30 at the Township Building on Prince Street. And they're going to be talking again for another time about the 3 servicemen who died in a crash back here on Blue Mountain back in 1951. And then on Saturday, May 4th, they're going to be dedicating a marker at Heroes Grove, which is right there at Brightville Park and also right beside the Friendship Community Center. Again, this is Linglestown Gazette Morning Update with Bill Bostic, your wannabe Walter Cronkite, sponsored by Consolidated Insurance and school board candidates Mazzatesta and Giovannis. Number 1, big topic. Got some scuttlebutt going on because PennLive.com now is charging money if you want to have unfettered, full access to their website. And I work in the news industry, beyond Linglestown Gazette. I work for our news company that covers state government. You don't know them because they charge big money to gain access, okay? But my job is to go and look at newspapers throughout the state. I'm the most informed guy every morning at 6:30, 7 o'clock because I'm looking at all the newspapers, trying to track down top stories for the clientele that this company serves in state government. And honestly, Penn Live is a little bit late to the game. Here's the short story is this. Back in the late 90s, whenever newspapers started putting information onto internet, they screwed up their business plan. Their business plan was shot to heck right at that point. We're talking, almost 20 years ago. They shot themselves in the foot. They put all this information online, no cost, no way of generating revenue. They started trying to sell ads, but the revenue was just tiny, tiny, tiny. So now they're still trying to figure it out. And most websites are going to some sort of what's called a paywall. And in Penn Live's case, they have a partial paywall. They give you a few free looks, and then you got to pay some additional money if you want to get full access. And they do that with cookies. So if you want to, there's a way around it. If you want to go in and clear out your cookies every time they try and get money out of you, you get more free looks. But that's going to probably get old after a while. The thing is, news organizations need money to be able to do what they do. Who's calling me here? Just a second. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Bye-bye. All right. How to take that call? That was from my wife. Anyways, they're late to the game. But here's the point, the bigger point. So what I'm saying is what PennLive.com has done, they're late to the game by doing this because most traditional newspapers are going this route. But what the problem is that they don't have the staffing to cover local news anymore, and that's the point I want to make. They don't have the staffing to do it. Last week, I tried to get a story in there about Central Dauphin School District, and they weren't interested because they don't have the wherewithal to cover other school districts. So they don't want to cover just Central Dauphin School District and nobody else. That's going to get them in trouble with their clientele. So I understand that. I'm not even blaming them. That's just the world they live in now. What PennLive.com is becoming is a place where you're going to find out about Penn State. You're going to get some big stories coming out of state government. They'll cover things that are really, they believe are attention getting. Right now they're focused on Harrisburg School District and all the crazy stuff happening there. And, locally, I get a call every once in a while if there's something going on with the project at Linglestown and Progress Avenue, the Vartan project, that big village they want to put in there. That's the kind of stuff they're following. And it's just really, they pick and choose what they think is important. That's not enough. That's not enough information to cover local stuff. So what's going to end up happening, your source of information is going to be Linglestown Gazette. And I'm trying to work out a partnership with the Paxton Herald, believe it or not. I should have an article in there this week on Wednesday when it comes out about the school district's budget. So that's the big thing. There's no reason to be upset at PennLive.com. They're trying to keep their heads above water. And I'm supporting them. I have to because of the job I have. Not this one, but the one where I actually get paid. So that's the story. That's your story number one. PennLive.com puts up a paywall. Not surprising. It's numbers two. The second story, I do want to make mention that we are sponsored in part by Tonino's Pizza. Coming up on a year of sponsorship helping us out with our sports coverage. They're over there across from Susquehanna Township High School in a little plaza there with a CVS and a Dunkin' Donuts. Go there and get their margarita pizza. All right, number two is the school budget town hall meeting happening tonight, April 29th, 2019, 7 o'clock. Now, listen to this. The location is the Central Dauphin East Middle School. All right, that's off of Rutherford Road. It's right there, the same complex as Central Dauphin East High School, 7 o'clock. It's a town hall meeting. I believe ABC 27's Dennis Owens is supposed to moderate it, okay? So you can come packing your questions, and I have a few questions for them tonight. The last time we met, a little over a week ago, myself and another guy were the only two that really spoke. So I'll try and keep things moving. I plan to be there. So that's tonight. And the word is, quickly, the school board seems to be heading in a direction where they don't want to have a tax hike this year. And I think that's because of two reasons. One is it's an election year, and some of the school board members want to retain their position, and doing a tax hike in a school election year is not a good idea. And I think from a political point of view. The other reason is last year, 4 school board members out of the 9 put significant pressure on the district to hold the line on taxes in the school year we're on into right now, and they failed. It was a 5-4 vote. Eric Epstein, Richard Mazzatesta, Jeannie Webster, and Brian Falshock, they were behind that movement, and because of what they did, I believe there's just more of an emphasis on keeping the taxes level. So that's what's going to be discussed tonight. I have some additional information here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into it. Maybe I'll have a special show or talk about it another time. But really, the bottom line is when it comes to school budgets, to me, watching things happen, what's happening is that not only Central Dauphin school districts, but school districts across the state are trying to somehow, some way, maintain the status quo. And it's very, very difficult because of state funding. We have a pension crisis going on where school districts are having to pay a tremendous amount of money for just pensions. That doesn't even go into the classroom for teaching. We're just talking about an expense of doing business because of what the state lawmakers did. The state lawmakers are not funding public education in a very big way. We have cyber education. There's it's very, very complex. The bottom line is local officials have very little room to maneuver. And I think our board is trying to, but at some point in time, the status quo is not going to be able to be maintained unless we get significantly more help from the state of Pennsylvania. I'll be talking more about what we can do as we the people to get involved in maybe trying to get some more state help, not only for our district, but for other districts as well. Story number 3, and this is going to be brought to you by CBC Cabinetry and Flooring. They're over there on the Union Deposit Corridor. And also Cole Performance Chiropractic. That's at in West Hanover Township at, there's a health club out there, and I can't think of it right at the moment. Is where he's located, one of our sponsors, and also provides our health tip every Friday. Story number 3 is the primary election coming up on May 21st. And we'll spend a lot of time on that other than to say the big election is the school board election. And the reason why it's big is that 5 of the 9 seats are up for, up for grabs, okay? And not I think there's 5 seats, and there are, I think 3 of them are in competitive races. Ford Thompson and Linda Delago in Region 3, where Linglestown is located, do not have competition at the moment. Probably won't. But the other 3 seats are up for grabs, and what's going to happen is here at Linglestown Gazette, I'm going to make every effort to be sure that you, the people, have information about who these people are, what their goals are, why they're running, and we're going to work that out over the next few weeks. But it's too late to register now, but I'm telling you, this is a huge election when it comes to our kids, when it comes to the direction of our school district, the balance of power on this board, which is somewhat contentious right now. A lot of votes are 5-4, could change depending on the outcome of this election. And we're going to move into our final big story of our region, our area, and that is Lower Paxton Township Fireworks Ordinance. Okay, that's coming up. And this one's brought to you by FatManClothingCompany.com, owned and operated by Anthony Cristillo. The township has started getting pressure last July 4th, whenever there's a fireworks bonanza going on around here. The state government opened up the sale of consumer-grade aerial fireworks. They had a set of regulations on where you could do it and when you could do it, at least where you can do it, and did not coordinate it very well with local government. So now Lower Paxton Township has been working since last fall on this ordinance. May 7th is when they're planning on reviewing it and potentially putting it in place prior to the big Memorial Day weekend. There's already been complaints about fireworks in the township. And I mean, in most of Lower Paxton Township, given the suburban neighborhoods we live in, you are not allowed by state law to do it. So this ordinance hopefully will allow the police to start to enforce those laws. Well, that's about all I have today. We're about 19 minutes into it. 2 people watching. What I plan to do is to break this up a little bit and shoot out separately the 4 different things that we highlighted today. So thanks for watching. This is Bill Bostic, your wannabe Walter Cronkite, the captain of local news. Signing off for Monday. We'll be back hopefully with Crystal Bob from St. Thomas Roasters on Wednesday. And we're brought to you by Consolidated Insurance Services and school board candidates Rich Mazzatesta and Ted Giovanna. See you Wednesday. Have a great Monday, everybody. Now, let's see here. Now I got to figure out, as always, how to turn this off.